Steve, how many pre-orders do you have, and who's ordering these trucks?
Yeah, so we sell to fleet. So this is a full-size pickup truck. And as I think most people know, it's a favorite of consumers and of workers. So our initial foray is into fleets, and we have pre-sold 100,000 of these to various fleets across America. So really a big appetite. You've got a fleet.
You notice he said pre-sold. He didn't say sold. He didn't say orders. Pre-sold. What does that mean?
That's been using a 17 mile per gallon pickup truck for the last 30 years. And we come out with one that gets the equivalent of 75 miles per gallon. And it's just what we had hoped, a lot of pent up demand, a lot of excitement around it. And you do these pre-orders to kind of get a feel what to tool for in this business, tooling and all the costs associated with the automation required to bring these to market. And so it gives you a good feel of what to tool for, what to build for. And we've been just really happy with 100,000 pre-orders.
A good feel of what to tool for. Okay. What to expect. A good feel. It tells us exactly what to do. Of course, this reminds me of a Casablanca. I'm shocked to know there's gambling going on. Of course these are pre-orders. Nobody thinks anything different. It's not sales. Everybody knows that. Tesla did 40,000 pre-orders, or whatever the number was, for a $30,000 Model 3, which never came to fruition. And nobody knows how many they sold. But the whole idea of these pre-orders is exactly what he said. To give you an idea of what this tooling is. This is the new. You can't say, well, look how many electric pickup trucks were sold last year. There weren't any. Okay, this is a clip about targeting fleet sales. I'm just going to play a little bit of this.
And Steve, I'm just curious about that thought process to explicitly target the commercial market, because there's a number of EV players out there. We're going to talk to Lucid Motors in just a little bit here on the program. And it seems a lot of it is focused around the consumer. I'm curious your guys' thought process around focusing commercial first.
Yeah, commercial has a lot of benefits. They buy in big chunks, right? Very sticky orders, a lot of loyalty once you're good to them.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. He just goes on to describe the fleet. Here's the thing. In the Hindenburg, they pay bounties for sales reservations. Of course, you're going to have guys. You're going to get together, either your internal staff, or you're going to hire an external service, and you're marketing to fleet managers, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to run an ad on ABC? You're going to run an ad on Facebook? No. You're going to get these guys. You're going to put them in a phone room, and you're going to get them. They're going to call up these fleet managers or these fleet maintenance managers, whoever they may be, because these are identifiable marketing targets. And you're going to set an appointment with them. And either you're going to go out and you're going to take a laptop and you're going to do a PowerPoint presentation and you're going to show them what you got, or you're going to do a Zoom presentation and you're going to say, this is what we can do. We can take you from getting 17 miles per gallon to 75 miles per gallon, zero maintenance. To replace a motor, you just unbolt the wheel, blah, 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 whatever it may be. It's called direct selling. It's called marketing. It's called a target market. And now he says, oh, they paid bounties. And what you're doing is you're putting feelers out, and this is pre-sales. Well, you're doing sales. This is your first sales call. Oh, they paid bounties for sales leads. What do you expect these guys to go out there and do this for nothing? Of course you're going to pay them. Of course. So some guys, maybe you pay them a bounty. Some guys, maybe you pay them per lead, or you pay them per hourly, or however you happen to do it. The point is, they're there. They're doing. It's more or less like doing a survey. I don't see how you can expect people to do this for free, and I don't see how anybody I mean, you know, these guys with their hats on backwards, and these cubicle monkeys that were doing analysis on stocks that don't exist anymore, that aren't even relevant anymore, and stock markets that aren't relevant anymore. Oh, they paid. Of course, it's the real world. You know, when people do work for you, you pay them. My God. Let's just see what else he has to say here.
And, you know, a consumer can be a little more fickle, right? And so for a new OEM with a new kind of vehicle, cutting our teeth on fleets that are very focused. They know exactly what they want their vehicles to do. They buy your vehicle only if it matches that definition. So by definition, you get a good...
See, what do? You call them up. You define your product to them. Jeez. All right, enough. Okay, they said something in this Hindenburg report about they're faking their battery. They're saying they're making their batteries, blah, blah, blah. Okay, listen, they've never said that. They're assembling battery packs. That's what they said. They're building the battery pack just like Tesla builds the battery pack, okay? Nobody's ever said anything different. Just like Tesla gets cells from Panasonic, it's the same thing. I'm going to play this clip out of this same interview. And just listen, they have an internal battery plant that does this. They're also going to make the motors that this guy was making fun of. You know, he's making fun of the Slovenian. They're Slovenian motor makers. Let me tell you something. First of all, there's been a tradition of higher learning in Slovenia since the Roman days. You know, whenever this guy's culture was still fighting with the broad axes, these guys were having universities in Slovenia. Second of all, the guys that developed these two motors are astrophysicists. One's a quantum physicist and one's an astrophysicist, and they've been working on these things for 13 years. Anyway, again, a lack of research. Let me just play this comment on batteries here.
Talk to us about batteries. There's a lot of, I'm going to tell you this, there's a lot of competitors coming into this market, testing vehicles close to actually making them. Do you anticipate a battery shortage? And then even outside of that, how has the surge in lithium prices impacted what you do?
Good. Of course, if you're an electric vehicle, your battery is your number one thing. That's why we are building our own battery plant here. We don't make the cells, but we assemble these 6,000 small cells into a pack.
We don't make the cells.
Design, and it sits in the floor of the vehicle. So it's a critical part, and you got to control the cost of it. A lot of people associate, you know, there is the raw elements, the lithium, like you talked about, and the cells, but how you hold those 6,000 cells and thermally manage them and electrically manage them and get them to last a long time, that's kind of the secret sauce of an OEM, electric OEM anyway. And we do that all in-house here. So we have several cell suppliers, A, to make sure we have capacity, and B, we're not sole source on anybody. And so we use these 2170 cells that I think Tesla buys those from Panasonic. We buy them from two other vendors that make those. So there's about 5 players that are serious automotive cell suppliers, and we have 2 of those.
Fair enough. Steve Burns, Lordstown Motors, founder and CEO. Good luck.
Okay, just going to close this section out here. Sounds like a carnival barker, doesn't he? These loser ex-employees, and why don't they identify? When did they work for them? 20 years ago? They're just hiring people. I don't think they fired a single person from Lordstown Motors. They must have gone back 25 years to find these people. Yeah, he sounds like a carnival barker, right? Yeah, right. He's one of the most soft-spoken CEOs, you know, besides this guy from Lucid, who I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, the point is, it's the job of the CEO to put the best possible face on the company. It's his duty to the shareholders. Why is that a crime? Honestly, I'll tell you. Okay, this is the first response on this from Burns, the CEO of Lordstown. Let's play that.
I'm Stan Boney.
And I'm Alexis Walters. There's always haters. Those words today from Lordstown Motors President Steve Burns in response to a report last week from Hindenburg Research.
Hindenburg calling Lordstown Motors a company with no revenue and no sellable product, which has misled investors.
Yeah, no product, no revenue, no kidding. It's a startup.
Today, Burns responded. There's always haters is our top story at 10. While giving Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose a tour of the Lordstown Motors plant today, CEO Steve Burns was asked about the Hindenburg research report.
There's always haters. I quoted Taylor Swift as somebody the other day. Haters are going to hate, 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 hate. You got to shake it off.
Burns spent time reassuring reporters and onlookers that Lordstown Motors is for real, despite what one research firm has written.
All right, I'm going to stop this here because let's hear what he has to say, and then.
I can't speak to the Hindenburg report. I can tell you two things. We are at betas in 10 days. And we are at start of production of the world's first electric pickup truck. I mean, I know I say that a lot, but think about the gravity of the world's first electric pickup truck starting right here.
Burns made his remarks.
Sorry, Tesla. Okay, this is a clip from another interview, a longer interview that was done at the plant with the Secretary of State, Ohio Secretary of State being there. And this is just a short, I'm going to show some segments of this. This is talking about the timeline for the beta roll.
I don't know if any of you guys ever go by here, but there was only three cars in the parking lot 6 months ago, right? It's happening. That's all I can tell you.
Where are the batteries being built? At the assembly side?
The assembly side, yeah.
We get through there someday?
Yeah, I showed. We showed Secretary a little bit of it, but you know, I think when the betas, I'm thinking about it. You guys maybe can help us. Thinking about having a party or an event when the first beta rolls off the line. Again, it's just beta, but for all practical.
When do you expect that to be?
10 to 12 days.
10 to 12 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe we'd show battery and things like that if we were going to have people in again. But a car company doesn't normally do it in that step, but it's such a big thing, so we might.
Okay, there you go. 10 to 12 days. He didn't give a hard timeline, but it's imminent. Okay, this is a longer interview here as well. I want to get to this section with this is Steve Burns, the CEO. The next guy that comes up is the guy that built the Fremont plant for Elon Musk for Tesla. So let's just let this roll for a minute, get an idea of this.
It's if you look at this and you think about it for a minute and you see what it takes to build something like this correctly, you're going to see why there's no small car company. So that's why we're so excited to be at this point. Beta in 12 days, first beta rolls off the line, and then we make one per day for 57 days, and then we roll right into pre-production and then production in September. We did a clarifying statement today. I think it's really important. Whatever anybody thinks of us in the world, the main thing is we are going to be the first electric pickup truck in the United States, full size, and that starts in September. And really, for a lot of people, it starts in 12 days. All right, I think that's enough.
Currently with this, all of our tools, we own the tools, but they're currently in Michigan being stamped, and then we're putting it together here. With that being said, the tools are ours based on the drawings. They're called a curb set tool, so they're a soft tool. As we get into hard tools, all these stampings will be done here in Ohio at the plant. The large ones will be done here on 2 bigger presses we have. We have 4 presses, which, by the way, like currently Tesla has 2. So I was Tesla as myself for director of manufacturing. They only have 2 as of 15, 16. So we have 4, which is a jump start over them. The smaller ones, we have 2 smaller presses and 2 larger presses. A lot of the small components here we'll keep in-house. Some will be outsourced, but the big Class A's, anything that's on the exterior of the vehicle will pretty much stamp here, of course, to save for shipping and packing. As you get underneath here too, and you look at the subfloor, which is this piece, it's going to come in this direction. So this is actually, it looks like it's going backwards, and that's correct. So it's actually traveling from this way to this way. And when it comes in, the underbody comes in, and then you're going to put on, so the underbody is this piece, then you're going to put on the two body sides. So the robot actually picks up the body side, puts it in place, and does all the welds on both sides at the same time. Then it comes in the heat.
Okay, I think you get the idea of that. You hear him talking about, we got Tesla beat, I know, because I set up the plant for Tesla. Okay.